everybody.
Just in case.
Oh, boy. Okay, we'll just put them just in reach. Make sure Gus doesn't hit them. We are live. Happy Friday. Happy noon. Nooner. Happy Friday. We finally made it.
Hi.
Hi. There we go. How do I sound? Do I sound good?
Yeah.
Are you really that cold?
And my little
I can't believe I'm over here sweating like crazy. And,
My lap
oh, they
blinking.
did. And of course, look what just came. The packages just came, but not that we need them right now. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Video Chicken. We have made it to the end of the week. To my left is my co-host, Kristen, our chicken expert. My name is Matt. This show is coming to you live thanks to Carolina Coops. And on about 10 feet away on the other side is Ingrid. Ingrid, how you doing this morning?
I'm fine.
So when my ears start getting sore, we can hook up the earbud thing.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we absolutely could. So, everyone out there listening to us, please make sure that we give an extra applause, thumbs up. Ingrid, I am putting her in the most uncomfortable places with her work, and I don't think she realizes how good of a job she is doing. And she is a perfectionist. I think everyone that works for me is a perfectionist. That's what I love about them. So they don't.
Except for me.
Well, I think that might be why you and I kind of do well, because we just kind of fly by the seat of our pants. But in order for people like us to survive, we have to have people that keep us on track, right?
Right.
Whoa. That was loud.
What just happened?
I don't know. I just heard a pop in my ear.
Yeah.
Everything's still working though.
All right. So are we on? Is everything working?
I don't see any comments or anything, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh, did we just ruin it again?
Let me check YouTube. Keep talking.
All right. Well, all you got to do is hover over the screen. All right. We got 5 people already watching.
Okay.
See,
All right.
see, boom. We are good
You
to
know,
go.
I meant to watch Kelly and Ryan this week so I could figure out what the best way to do
Oh,
this
here
is.
they come.
Oh, I don't know if you want to do that. All right. Comments are
Am
coming
I
in.
supposed to
Ooh,
look at
Nan's
you,
listening.
or am I supposed to look at the camera or Ingrid?
I don't know what we're supposed
So
to
that's
do.
why I was
but
going to
we-
watch Kelly and Ryan, and I couldn't really bring myself.
Well,
to
they
do
have
it.
these big fancy teleprompters,
Oh.
and maybe one day we'll get there. We're hopefully this show will be a lot better, at least in the beginning than last week. Everyone give us a thumbs up. And there's my boy Chico. Hi, buddy. Hope you're doing well. It's time for you to come down soon and visit. I see Nan is listening. I can't read the comments. Not that I really need to right now. Nope. But let's not bore everyone. Let's get right into it.
And get some opera glasses.
Some opera glasses.
Yeah.
So tell everybody your announcement.
Yeah. So last week, we definitely probably disappointed in the first 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, I got complaints from my mom. She's she's 80 something years old, and she's like, I don't even have time to watch 2.5 hours of that. And the first half hour was just excruciating.
It
from
was.
my mom.
Oh boy.
Can I just say
And
that
I
there's
wasn't supposed to say her age probably, but I'm just saying that she really.
there's an edited version now on, so
Yeah.
people do want to watch it. That stuff.
Right, but what we missed is you gave a great introduction that we've been waiting so long. We've worked for the past 6 months to get into the building that we're sitting in right now in Creedmoor, North Carolina. I've talked a lot about that. We got something cooking behind the scenes.
Right.
There's a reason why we had to keep it quiet.
You were alluding to it many times.
Yes, I was, and I'm glad.
Almost spilled the beans.
A couple times, yeah. Probably almost got myself in a lot of trouble.
Right.
But we are now 2 weeks. We closed 2 weeks ago. So this is our second Friday in this new building. We've been working like crazy.
And that's why we had to take a couple weeks off, 2 or 3 weeks off.
Yeah. A lot of people are asking, like, where are
Yeah.
you guys? It was just absolute
It
madness.
was related to the building purchase.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
But we had to keep it quiet because we were working with the town, the county and the state of North Carolina, and the governor wanted to be the one to announce it. He didn't want you to one up him. So
that's right.
yeah,
So
we had to wait for that.
I am so happy to be able to bring part of my company down from New York, that we're going to do all the mass production here. Our goal is so that when you order a chicken coop, you don't have to wait for it anymore.
Yay! Applause.
That is the idea. We got a long
More
road.
coops.
We got a long road ahead of us.
And more chickens.
You're going to see a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And, I just want everyone to know, even though 2020 was crazy, prices of everything are going through the roof, we are working so hard to make sure that we can give you the best scoop for the best price. I made that commitment on day one, and here we are. Actually, yesterday was my 10th year anniversary from quitting my day job.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'll never forget someone important in my life said that's the biggest mistake you'll make in your life. And it's my job now to hopefully prove this person wrong.
Another thing is you have a studio here.
Yes.
We're no longer in my living room.
Yes. Yeah. And we're going to be able to do so many more things.
Yeah.
So anyways, guys, thank you for bearing with us for the past 6 months. Trying out different things about the show. It's going to start continuing to get better. But the best part is we've met a major milestone in purchasing this new building. Very soon it should be registered with Google, right, Ingrid, where people will be able to see it.
Today I put it in my GPS and it said Carolina Coops.
It did, but I don't want to talk about it right now.
Oh boy.
I'm mad at Google.
Really?
Yeah.
I did say that the previous business was closed though, so that the day
Right.
of closing. So
All right. So
we got that off the.
But yeah, it's
the
there.
map.
It's
I
on.
couldn't be happier.
It was in small print though, really small print.
I never thought in a million years we would accomplish what we've
I
accomplished.
mean, like an 8 font.
But in the back of my mind, I knew we would. So, and I
That
can't
was
wait.
supposed to make you mad.
I can't wait to have my whole team down here to celebrate, which hopefully will be very soon.
Oh yeah. What'd you call that? The Whirl-a-Dig party?
The Wing Ding Doodle.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so moving on.
Neither of which make any sense whatsoever.
I want to get to the chicken stuff here. We got Mackenzie in the green room.
Chickens.
All right, let's bring on Kenzie.
Last time we had some problems with the audio, but we can already tell that it's
Yes,
fixed.
and we're adding her. And Kenzie, you're live.
Good morning, Mackenzie. Or afternoon now.
Good morning.
Is it warm there?
It is.
Yay!
For the first time in so long. I think I'm frozen.
No, not for us.
No, not for us. You look great. Love the
Yes.
neon green.
Oh, good.
Casual Friday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 70 something today. Or
Oh, my
supposed to be.
goodness.
Maybe
Wow.
not
Yeah,
quite.
as soon as you hang up, you're gonna go run
Yeah.
outside, right?
Alright.
Yeah.
And
I have to
I'm-
go check on my chickens.
And I want to
Yeah.
make sure Evan's screen in the background keeps moving so I know that he's working. Anyways, all right. So questions of the week. Mackenzie, it's been a while. What kind of questions do we have coming in right now?
So they're kind of all over the place. I had to scratch a couple off because you guys addressed them in the last show. So this is probably one that's kind of been in the forefront right now is, should I use medicated chick feed?
See, here we go again. And I'm perfectly okay with this if they're all going to be chicken questions because it allows me to learn so much. But I'm kind of jealous because you get to do all the answering.
Well, you just chime right in, but I'll say it is important in the beginning. And it's not critical if you're really, really careful with your changing the bedding and if they're not crowded. You don't have to use it, but I wouldn't be concerned about using it because by the time that they start laying eggs, that is completely out of their system. It's not a concern at all, but it gives you some extra assurance in the beginning that they don't get sick, and it's only keeping them from getting one illness.
Okay, and what is that one illness?
I don't know how to say it. Is it coccidiosis?
Coccidosis?
Coccidosis? Okay, coccidosis.
Coccidosis?
Yeah, so it's only medicating for that, and it's a really low
I'm going to
level.
help fix your mic here. Here, come in here.
It's a really low level of medication. Once they do get coccidosis, you can treat that as well. So if you don't use medicated, you can still treat for it. You just have to be really observant about watching their behavior. The behavior you're looking for is they stop moving, their shoulders are hunched, and their tail is down. They have this like posture like this.
Yeah, it's so obvious that
Yes.
they do not
And
feel
they're
good.
yeah.
Is it contagious?
Yes.
to other chickens?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Adult chickens are usually immune to it. So
Right.
it's only an issue for chicks.
All right. So, and explain a little bit more about coccidosis. So we know what it looks like, what to look for with the chicken. Is there something else that we should look for?
Well, you might be able to see the blood in the stool.
Right.
In the droppings. And that's not to be confused with the dropping that they do once a day that's like liquid dark brown splat. Okay? That's normal. And if I had a sample
got that
here,
on
I'd
me
be
the
happy
other
to
day.
show
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I bet you would. So, medicated feed will help prevent coccidosis.
Yes.
Very, very important.
Yes.
Now, coccidosis, I want to point out one of the reasons why there's a benefit to our chicken coops. Is coccidosis a parasite?
Yes.
Okay. And where can they potentially pick up that parasite? What kind of environment does this parasite thrive in?
Ah, yes. Definitely warm, moist ground.
Yes.
So it's definitely more common in the summer, late summer. For a while there, I stopped raising chicks in August just because it
Can be
so
really bad. But one of the advantages to a chicken coop designed like ours with that solid roofed run
is it's dry.
is it's dry. And I've always said you'd rather have a dry problem than a wet problem.
Yeah, and same with, like we talked about last week, potentially raising your chicks in the hen house of the Carolina Coop or American Coop.
That is
because
correct.
that also is dry, and with the hemp, everything is dried out and desiccated.
Right.
So it really, really helps.
So another thing that comes to mind too is if you are, let's say you are using medicated feed and you do have some of your birds become sick with coccidosis, and a common product called COVID, right? Corid. Wow. Pretty close there. Corid, you are correct. Aren't you supposed to remove the medicated feed if you're going to
Yeah, you don't want to overdose them.
You don't want to overdose them. So I think that's another very important point.
Another thing is I've switched to non-medicated because I can't keep my hens away from the feed. It's very hard for me to do that. So even if I have my chicks outside and they're in a special cage or a special pen, the nosy hens are always getting in there trying to get to their food or the food that spills, and I don't want the hens, the ones that I'm
Right.
eating their eggs, I don't want them medicated.
So this morning, speaking of a nosy hen, this morning I woke up from a customer texting me this morning of a video of one of her hens checking out the new amazing, I'm not sure, can we bring it up on one of our social media, the goose house that I got to give Evan just
that is
mad
beautiful.
credit. If we can bring that up,
I'm getting it.
and take your time. Yeah, there it is. So if you want to go ahead and click on share the screen, we'll bring that up. Everyone will still be able to hear us. There you go. Ingrid, you are crushing it. Look at you. Screen share, down, right, boom, right there.
Tiny.
Okay.
Print.
So check this out. So this amazing goose house. All right. I got to give Evan credit. I'm not sure if he's ever going to listen to this or not, but here is just textbook of what makes Carolina Coops great is that we have someone like Evan that listens to what a customer wants, designs it from scratch. We are not copying other people's designs. You know, there's architectural designs that have been around for hundreds of thousands of years, but we design it from scratch. And not only did he design it, and it's something new, you know, we've learned a lot about raising geese. We even had an interview. We had that awesome lady, Emily, was it?
Yes, I think it was Emily.
No, it was the woman with Hostel.
Hostel,
Farm.
wasn't her name Emily?
No, it was Kirsten.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause I was going to keep screwing up
Yeah.
Kirsten and Kristen. Anyways, so did a lot of research, and there might be some pictures of the inside. And Evan, to make sure the customer was happy, because God knows we're behind schedule. I mean, who isn't this time of year? He took this down by himself. Well, he brought his family with him, which I thought was really cool, but finished this on site all by himself. It was absolutely incredible and just crushed it. So we're going to talk more about this goose house. But anyways, I woke up
That is cool.
I woke up this
And
morning.
it matches the other coop that you put down there.
Yeah, Ingrid,
So
can we
that's
see
also
some other
important.
I
pictures?
don't know why I can't
Or compliments. It really
scroll through the
compliments.
pictures here.
And it
Just
has
scroll.
that's a cedar roof, right?
That is the cedar roof. That is the exact hand split cedar roof. Right there. See the arrow? Click
I
on the arrow.
know, I keep clicking. Nothing's
All right. Well, we'll get back to that. Let's get back to Mackenzie. But she sent me a picture of one of the hens checking it out inside. And it's going to be... Good job, Ingrid.
Another tip about the medicated feed is I like to recommend that you start them out on medicated and you keep them on medicated like a week into their transition to their outdoor space because that can be stressful.
Oh.
So maybe a week or two when they get transferred, and then after that you can go back. You can go to non-medicated or
Awesome.
whatever.
Cool. Well, hope that helped everyone about the non-medicated or medicated question. We do get that a lot.
I mean, I had to learn about it on my own too. So it's
Yeah, just to remind everyone, Mackenzie's a proud chick mama.
Ooh. Congratulations. I missed the baby shower.
they're getting very large.
We should have baby showers for chicks.
I go
All right, question
I
two.
think that
Question
would be
two.
great. How do I break a broody hen?
You don't. Sorry.
No, you might have to. Some people don't have
Why?
a lot of space. For instance, if I had like 4 broodies, I couldn't have that many chickens.
We need a bigger chick coop.
Or you can let them raise the chicks and then you hand those off as a starter flock to somebody else.
Oh, see, there's an idea. But some people don't want a broody hen.
Should you
So-
break a broody hen?
Well, I have no experience because I don't break them.
Well, maybe we could
But-
talk about the horrible ways that people tell you
some
how to
people,
do it. And how
do
we should not.
electroshock therapy.
Okay, hold on. First things
dump
first. First
cold
things first.
water on their head.
Here's where we take
Hold
everything.
them upside down and shake
Hold
them.
on. Slow your roll. Remember, we take these things for granted. This show is all about people that are brand new, and there's probably a handful of people right now saying, "What the heck's a broody hen?" So real quick, what is a broody hen?
And I do not condone any of that activity that I just mentioned.
What is a broody hen?
It's a hen that wants to have babies.
Okay.
She's hormonal, and her instinct is to hatch eggs. So she'll sit on eggs, or if she doesn't have eggs, she'll just sit. And you know that she's broody because she's in the nesting box. And when you approach the nesting box, she'll probably puff up and try to look scary and maybe growl and
Oh,
peck.
definitely growl. Absolutely. There's a great video clip of a broody hen. And
Do your broody hen imitation.
No.
Did you see mine?
No. All right, so that's a broody hen. And do we want to break it?
I don't.
Okay, but let's say.
And I've had hens that almost die from sitting for 3 months if they don't if they don't have a chicks to raise.
But there are some instances where people can't get chicks
Right.
or eggs, or it's just not a good time. And there are ways to do it which are way more humane.
Hi, Non.
Hi, Nan. What's going on? Nan's
She's,
behind poke.
she's sneaking around like trying to get our attention or
Well,
something.
I'm here late
Yeah.
because I was
Yep.
doing things. I just came in to check to see if anybody wants coffee while I'm making
Oh, that's so nice.
Yes, thank you. No, I'm good.
Actually, I'll have a cup.
cup of coffee.
Yeah, because I just have some like hot tea
Okay,
that's
so-
mostly water.
Good?
I'm good, Nan. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, what are some of the ways that people try to break hens from being broody?
The number one way is to isolate them, take them off the nest and isolate them. Just repeatedly take them off the nest. Take away their eggs. I've heard dump cold water
Yeah,
on
that's
them.
awful.
Hang them upside down.
Awful.
I mean, I don't.
I did have someone that put them in like a small dog, like a
Yeah.
dog crate. So if they're not on a nest and they're not able to do that instinctual stuff for a couple of days, it can work. So she was able to break one of her broodies that way.
Yeah, like a hard. Yeah, probably a hard bottom with no
But,
nesting material.
exactly.
Yeah.
For people, because there are instances where people don't
Yeah.
have access to.
All right, so we have a problem we have to solve then. I was not aware of the reasons why people want to break the broody hen other than that they're like, well, she's not producing eggs, so she's wasting my time.
I've had them sit for 3 months or more if they're persistent, and it's quicker just to let them hatch eggs over 3 weeks, raise them, get their
Okay, so-
maternity leave over with.
What I'm hearing is we need to invent the nursery. If there's no room in the egg hutch for the other hens to lay their eggs, because that broody hen's going to win. She's being a little mean. So we got to give her own space. So that's something to think about. If you want to go ahead and unmute Mackenzie again, I'm not sure how we lost her. And just click right there.
I'm clicking.
And one other thing is their maternity leave is about 6 weeks, and that's like the same as us as humans.
Yeah, so
If
that's
we
a lot-
get a maternity
That's a long time.
leave.
You got to click on.
I am.
Right. Okay.
I don't know. I
Go
just
go
think
to
that's
go to the
interesting.
left just a little bit more. To the left, right there. Click. Oh, I'm not sure what's going on. I guess
I
maybe
don't
we lost
either.
Mackenzie.
No, we
Wait,
didn't.
she's in there.
She's
There,
there.
she is now. There, she got it.
I
Not
don't
sure
know-
what.
I don't know why the audio thing. Go ahead.
Okay. So, if you have a broody hen, we say don't try to break her. To me, that's just insane. I mean, I wish I
just
could.
give her one chick.
Okay, so if you give her, so that opens up a whole nother
You
conversation.
get one chick, one extra chicken a year
All right.
per hen. Wait a minute.
All right, Mackenzie, do you have one more
Did-
question for us?
Did I mention I'm in trouble with my HOA? Oh.
Hello. So this is a question that I got that actually kind of stumped me a little bit. Why is it called industrial hemp?
Oh, that's a fun one. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know exactly why it's called industrial hemp,
Well,
but
that's so it's not confused with recreational cannabis, right?
but I would assume, like, I never looked up the definition or the answer to why do we call it industrial hemp, but yes, because it was used for things that are very industrial, from paper to textiles.
Right. And that too.
And right, and if my memory serves me correct, and I don't know if this is true or not, but someone told me, we're going to go back 200 years of why they made it illegal, which has to do with, lobbyists, and they knew the benefits from the plant, so they wanted to produce other things so they can make money. We're not to get into all that, but that is a great question, and I would only assume because it can be used for just about anything.
All right, you had the better answer. I had the more fun answer.
Oh, here comes the coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Oh.
All right,
Thank
Mackenzie.
you.
So, Mackenzie, you will be flying down next week. She's going to be here.
I said
There's a big mush
maybe
word.
flying.
I'm the only one that can use mush words. You're flying down. Can't wait for you to check out your new office. Mackenzie, thank you so much. Hope you enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, Kenzie.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.
So that was Mackenzie, everyone, the 3 top questions for the week. So I'm glad we're getting some different questions up there.
That was a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever answered that.
I've never been asked that, ever.
Do you want some Instagram questions?
Would love some Instagram questions. Now, I do want, at some point in the show, just to do a chick check on the eggs that we're incubating.
Oh, okay.
So I did run an extension cord. We can bring it over here. So just wanted to put that out there. So Ingrid, whenever you say is a good time, I want to do a couple a couple eggs.
All right, we'll get some quick questions.
All right.
And then we'll go to that. Somebody asked, how do you get the hardware cloth pulled tight when you're applying it on there?
I guess this is what this show is about. I love how good my guys do attaching that hardware cloth. And I can tell you that it is truly an art. And to do it well, you gotta be able to look at that hardware cloth and know exactly how to start it and what direction you should go in your approach to stapling it on so it stretches it. Now, in the shop, when we have our custom coops and our turnkey coops or whatever time we're stapling screen on, we actually do it one with the walls vertical. And it's easier to let it hang down, we have found. You would think it's easier to have the wall lay flat. No, it's definitely easier to have it going vertical. And that's going to start you on the right way to be able to, when you're attaching with the staple gun, you ping pong back and forth in that gun. Each time you shoot it in,
Didn't you angle
and you angle it just a little bit, and it stretches it.
the staples so that
But I can tell you, you
kinda
got
pulls
to be,
it.
yes, you got to be able to read the screen. You can't just take every piece of screen and think it's all going to react the same. It all depends how it came off the roll, which way the natural curve is. But you literally look at it, and once you start it, you don't ever want to try to manipulate it. It's like sheet metal.
Mm-hmm.
Once you start it, that's it. And you just got to roll it out.
Do you have it so that it's rounded like this? If this is your
It's like it
wood,
unrolls.
I know, but you know how it's concave?
Mm-hmm.
Would you attach it like that
No.
or the opposite like
Opposite. You start it so that it wants to roll up on you,
Okay.
but gravity will push it down. And when you ping pong back and forth, the other thing you're looking for is you can kind of tell, you can do like maybe 10 staples over here, then you look at it, and then you can shoot here. You don't want to go 1, 1, 1, 1. You could, that'll take forever. But sometimes you can only do a couple, and then maybe you got to do 10 over here. So it is like working dough.
that? Is there a wrong side and a right side to the hardware cloth?
No.
Okay.
Good question, but no.
Great, that's helpful. Somebody asked if you can do a bunny hutch.
Not only can we, there's nothing we can't do, but we've done several bunny hutches. We've taken even our regular chicken coop.
Yeah, I
You
remember
didn't-
that guy in
yeah.
New Jersey. A
Yeah.
long time ago, we made him a bunny hutch out of a Carolina coop.
Yep, and we've done them where we've separated them from the males and females because they were going to breed them. Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Love bunny hutches.
So, okay, I'll get another question. Then I have visuals for the other two.
Love some visuals.
So somebody was asking, how high should the roost bars be?
Should be. Well, they should only be high enough that your chickens can easily jump up to them.
Is there a certain number of inches from the
I would
base of
say
the...
for your normal chickens that have feathers, unlike silkies,
Proper feathers, yes.
proper feathers. Some people are going to argue with me on this. They're going to say, well, 24 inches is too tall. They can't get up there. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's amazing where chickens can
Mine
get.
are 4 feet tall.
Exactly. You know what I mean? If I just said 4 foot tall.
But after I clipped their wing feathers, some of the heavier ones have trouble getting up there. So I had to put a overturned trash can down below for them to have a hop.
Right. And then people will comment, well, that's too far for them to jump down. So I think 24 inches is a good sweet spot.
Yeah, I think so too. I think mine are too tall. Yeah. So I think.
Not a Carolina coop.
Right. I have a Carolina.
The one that she's referring to,
Yeah.
anyways.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to share this too. So the question here is, what's the ideal base for a coop, assuming that everything is level and the dirt is packed? And now I'm going to go here. Go ahead, you can talk. I don't want to.
Well, so site preparation. And the question is, what is the best type of base?
Yeah, so I guess if you have a level
Ground. Okay.
and you want to put a base,
Okay.
what's the best type of base?
I
for
would
that?
say that you don't have to put a base.
Right.
And then you go.
Yes. You definitely, the first thing we got to tell you is every single one of our structures is pressure treated on the bottom, so you do not have to have a base. Now, if your ground is already flat and level and you still want a base, there's going to be two main reasons I know people want to put a base in. And I can't argue with it. I think it's actually a great idea, especially if it's in your budget, is you're creating another area to deep litter your run.
Right.
Okay.
I would say that's a big benefit.
Huge,
Yeah.
yes. You're creating side walls to hold it all in. It's just that simple. But the question really comes into like what material, and here we got a great picture behind us, and I have never seen this.
I know. I
That
just
is a
made
beautiful. You're looking at a beautiful American coop,
Is that block?
and that looks like what you're looking at
Concrete.
right now is a concrete foundation, and you have a sill plate on top. So here's the thing I want people to realize: if you're going to do a base, whether your ground is already flat or not, is
a couple of examples here.
yeah. Pressure treated lumber, I would normally say is going to be the most cost effective way, but lumber is through the roof. So now it might be worth looking into the cost of concrete. I can tell you if your soil is already very sandy and soft and it's not really going to compact, that's where a concrete footer comes into play. For example, Florida. Right there you can see Florida had to do concrete down there. It's all very, very sandy. And I tell you, my customers in Texas, boy, do they love their concrete. They put in concrete footers all the time. And it's more because they get some pretty high winds. So it's just another great way to anchor your coop down. So if you're going to do a concrete footer, you're going to have a lot of cost and labor because you got to put in your forms. You got one chance to make sure you get it right. But if you do it right, it's amazing. And then when we do our concrete footers, we put a sill plate on top where we just take a board and lay it flat. And then we tap con that down into the concrete, which are just bolts for masonry. And then that makes it super easy then to attach the bottom of the chicken coop, which is already wood, to the sill plate, which is already wood. So when people ask what is the best, I would say if money was no object, you can't go wrong with concrete as long as it's done right, but you can definitely get away with a pressure treated base. And I'm not sure if we have any pictures. There is a gentleman, I want to show off his coop, another customer out in California. He made some great points about the base he put in. He put in a pressure treated base, but underneath the pressure treated base, he put in blocks. And then underneath the blocks, he put in stone, which is really slick. And that's really, if you want to get technical, is one of the best ways to do it, because you're going to trench it out. You're going to put stone down, pack that stone down with a tamper. That gives it a nice solid base for anything above it to sit on so it doesn't settle. It also allows drainage, okay? And then he did it so that I guess he planned on he was going to move. And he wanted to be able to remove his base even and leave zero visual impact. You would never know there's a chicken coop that was going to be there. Versus a concrete, you're going to see it.
Yeah. I think for the DIY, pressure treated is best. And I've noticed that you guys usually do a half lap on the corners. And I would also mention that your measurements are outside.
Yes. Yeah, when we get a customer that orders a chicken coop, there's a lot of talk and a lot of schematics that go out to whoever's putting in the base, or if it's us and we just
Yeah.
do it. But yeah, we like
We
to
should
show
provide
off.
those measurements, because the last thing you want to do is put all that effort into a base and then have it not fit.
We had it happen recently,
Yeah.
and the customer tried to blame us. No, we were right. I mean, I'm glad we were right. Their contractor, I don't know if he just, I don't know what he was thinking when he put in his, and it was a beautiful concrete job, but they were off 2 feet. Yeah. Oh.
All right, well, we have another question that we got.
Yeah, I love the questions.
And this is something that comes up a lot, and I have a page that will explain this as well. But how many chickens can I put in an 8x24 foot run?
The most important question: how many chickens can you put in this coop?
Is that
or
why you have a calculator
Or
over there?
what? Or what size?
look
What
at this.
size? Because I'm horrible at numbers. I know you're very, very good at numbers. Or what size coop should I get because I want X number of chickens?
Right.
This
And
is
the 8x24 is 192 square feet.
So here we have the.
look at
There's a
that.
couple of explanations. So this you've shown before.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, for our listeners right now. Okay, yes. I mean, look at
Ingrid,
Ingrid.
you did a great job. with
Ingrid has
that.
just done an amazing job. But I would also like to point out
I mean, that is just fantastic.
she created all this from scratch. I almost feel like we're a little bitter right now why we keep mentioning we create our own work. But
Yeah.
anyways, did you know you're not supposed to steal people's pictures and call them your own? Does everyone out there know that?
Yeah, let's just make a little PSA, public service announcement.
Yeah.
Because a picture exists on the internet, you do not have the right to take that picture and use it for your own purposes.
Yeah, and call it your own. Say,
Well,
this-
I showed pictures off the internet the last time. Of
That's
the eggs.
okay.
Okay.
So showing a picture on the internet, that's fine. Taking it and saying, this is my chicken.
Oh.
This is the kind of chicken I can using it to profit, or even just taking somebody else's work.
taking out to someone at work and calling it your own. Anyways, all right. So yes, Ingrid, this is beautiful.
Thank you.
So it is the most important thing. If you're going to order a chicken coop, build a chicken coop, you got to get the size right. If you do not get the size right, you are doomed. And not only do you have to focus on how many chickens you're going to start with, you got to understand. If you can just scroll up a little bit more, chicken math right here. Chicken math is real. Can you explain chicken math real quick?
You will never have enough.
So let's get right
That's
into
what
it.
it
So,
says on the bottom.
Well, I know. I just read it.
You never have enough room or enough chickens.
all right, so let's talk about this real quick because this is
There's
such an
so
important
many
subject.
chickens.
And you'll be able to use this video hopefully in our Q&A when people have that question, what size coop should I get? So if you can scroll back up, Ingrid.
Scrolling.
Look at, boy, you're getting good with that Mac.
I know it's
Go right on up. Go right on up to the image. There we go. Okay. So again, with a chicken coop, when I talk about a chicken coop, I'm referring to the entire structure. And you have two parts, okay? You got the hen house. That's where the chickens sleep at night. They're on their roost bars. That's their bed. And then they also lay their eggs in there. And then the other part is the run. So there's two things we have to consider on what size coop should we get. Now, the most important part is that hen house. And the run can change depending on if you can free range or not. But the hen house is the hen house. So,
So an 8x24 coop, is that a 6x8 hen house? Or a 4x8?
yeah, so
That would be
the question was 8x24.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's pertaining to ours coop
All
in
right.
particular.
So let's just say, okay, you got an 8x24 chicken coop. So we're going to assume it's 8 foot wide and 24 foot long. But first thing I need to know is what size hen house.
So if it's a 4-foot hen house, you have 2 roost bars. If it's a 6-foot deep hen house, then you have 3 roost bars.
That's
So
right.
24 chickens.
Right. So I like the 1 foot rule. So we got to make sure when it comes to the actual size of the hen house, and I know a lot of city ordinances get really hung up on square footage of the hen house. That's actually not the first thing you need to think about. You got to think about, am I going to have enough space on the roost bars for the chickens to sleep?
Right.
We like the 1 foot rule.
Right. So an 8-foot roost bar would have 8 chickens.
8 chickens, just
So
that
if
simple.
there's 2, then
16.
you have 16.
That's right. And then you got to make sure that you have the right number of egg boxes
1 egg box for every 4 hens.
every 4 hens. And
I have 3 to 8 because Come on.
Yeah. You can have more. Yeah, absolutely.
I have 10 chickens and they use
One box, I bet.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't say that because most people are going to get on me like the YouTube chicken police. So we go by the industry standard, 4 to 6 per nest box. Even though, yeah, you'll get 10 sharing one nest box, but definitely
But
more.
we never know really what box that is.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would start with that box.
Right. And then when people, earlier are talking about, well, my hen's going broody and we got to break her up because I don't have enough room in my egg boxes. That's why, bigger is better when it comes to chicken coops. And then, of course, to go back to chicken math.
Right. So, yeah, we were talking about how many hens to fit in the hen house. And then you also have to consider how much room do they have on the grounds, the ground space, the ground.
Right.
And that actually is very, very important. So for that size chicken coop, that's 192 square feet, and there's roughly a 10-foot rule there.
Okay. So when we're
Or
talking
more,
about.
but really the more the better.
Right.
The
10
least is 10.
Yeah.
square.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you cannot free range, you want the biggest run possible.
Right,
10 square feet
right.
per hen is what I always call industry standard. That is the bare minimum. If you only have 10 square feet per hen, you're going to have
And
some
that
hens.
sounds like a lot, but they just work that ground.
Not only do they work it, all right, you got to think about that nitrogen load.
Yeah.
So bigger the better when it comes to the run. If you can free range, then the run size is not as critical. But that 10 square feet, so that would be like 19.2. My minimum, if you cannot free range, is I would say 20 square feet. I would easily double it. But one thing I wanted to go back to is when we're talking about the hen house and chicken math. If you got a chicken coop and let's say, okay, it's 8 foot wide and you got 2 8-foot roost bars, that's 16 feet, so 16 chickens. You shouldn't start off with 16
Yes,
chickens.
Yes, I was about to say that too.
Exactly. And why should we not max
Well, I
out?
like to stagger my flocks. For one, I want to stagger their egg production. You may think that you want as many eggs as possible right from the start, but they do have all of these peaks and valleys, both seasonally and by age. So I find it's wonderful to stagger the flocks.
Yeah, you got to leave room inside your hen house to grow your flock.
And then you're going to see a chicken that you can't live without, or somebody gives you one or forces one
You
upon
got to have the
you.
green
So,
eggs, got to
yeah,
have the
yeah,
blue eggs. I
yeah.
mean, that's what makes chickens awesome.
Right.
So you got to leave room in your flock. And after about 3 to 4 years, that egg production is going to decline. And you may not be happy with that. And most likely, you're not going to turn her retirement into soup.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to keep her, and you got to leave room to add to your flock. So very, very important. So I know specifically you're asking about an 8 by 24. So I hope we hit those numbers. But those are the things you got to think about no matter what particular size coop you're thinking about.
Right. All right, I gotta get back to
I think
ECAM.
the big factors there were room to grow and if you're going to free range or not.
Ecam.
Oh, darn it. Okay.
And even part-time free ranging counts.
Here's the thing about part-time free ranging. I have an issue with part-time free ranging. I do.
What? I thought we like gray area, wiggle room.
Yeah, I part-time free range.
Here's
Yeah,
what
me too.
happens. That's like, I know what it's like to be out.
Oh, that's like an indoor cat that gets the taste for the outdoors. Yeah, no, you're right.
Well, I guess what I meant was I have an area, but I'll give them more. I have a big run area for them outside their coop, and then I'll give them more area at different times because it seems that chickens always want something new.
Yeah,
Yes.
they do. They do.
Because you got to make sure they don't get bored.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
their job, is to go out and find new areas to scratch, to eat, to break down the droppings behind larger animals. I mean, it just makes
Oh, and if
sense.
I don't let mine out, they are like
Oh, they're going crazy.
dragging their beaks across the wire like a prison.
Absolutely. So that's where, yes, I do agree. I mean, no matter what, free ranging is the best. But if you can't free range, I almost think you're better off never letting them out, but go as big as possible with a run. But it does help to get them out.
Also, another tip for part-time free ranging is to do it before sunset.
Yes.
If you're going to do it at any time, the easiest time I find is just like an hour or two before sunset, because that way they put themselves to bed.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, one more question, then we'll go to your eggs.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And I'll get to other.
How are we
people's
doing on
questions.
time? I can't see the
We
time.
are
And
at-
how many
we're 40
people are
minutes
we
in.
watching? This is so hard for me to let go of this control. But let's go ahead. Just hover over the big screen.
We have
49 people. So
49
we've been
people.
hovering right there. So 49 people out there. Thank you so much for taking the time. I hope you're enjoying the show. We definitely want to build the audience. So I just wanted to make sure for all our listeners out there, anything you can do to help share this, to promote it, talk about it. We want to continue to build the audience.
And our hope is also that we can bring you guys on.
Yeah, I'm not going to push Ingrid to her breaking point, but very, very soon, just like how we bring Mackenzie on, if you listeners out there, your viewers, want to show off your chicken coop, you want to talk about that, maybe you got a problem with your chicken coop and you just want to come on the show, we absolutely will be able to do that very soon.
All right. So the last question on Instagram is, well, it's specific, but we can talk about this. What are the shipping costs on getting a coop to Washington State? So explain how we, if you know, how we get to our shipping costs.
I have a feeling, Ingrid, you know more about that than I do now.
Well, but you could explain how our coops are shipped out.
All right. Well, most of our chicken coops are shipped out in panels, either standing or flat stacked. So, like for example, our California coop is flat stacked. It's a smaller coop, so that just works out well. But most of our coops that go out, they're panelized, they're standing, so they're pretty tall. They're very heavy. They range anywhere from, on average, 12 to 1,600 pounds, and they go out on a 4x6 pallet.
Are they still
Yep.
packed like that?
Yes.
Like
Yep.
an
They're-
A-frame?
Yes, they're standing. And I can tell you, right now, because they're still coming out of the New York shop, to go all the way to the West Coast is going to cost more than if we were shipping down on the East Coast. But we aggressively, and I think we do a great job, aggressively shop around using a broker to be able to pass along that savings to our customers. And it's amazing how much cheaper it is now than it was in the beginning when we first started this business. But we do, outsource it LTL, which means less than a truckload, and it shows up to your house via tractor trailer. In most areas, unfortunately, some of our customers in California, you just cannot get 18 wheelers up in these mountains. So it's still an option to have a third party carrier where it comes to you on a smaller truck. And of course, you can always pay us the turnkey service, and we'll bring it to you, the white glove service.
All right.
Did you answer the question?
I don't know.
No, and also you also, there's not one standard shipping cost per state. It depends on the coop, the size of the coop.
Yeah, and
The way-
That's what I
zip
mean.
code,
I haven't booked a shipment probably in 5 years.
I mean, is it 500, 700?
Couldn't tell you. I don't have a clue.
It depends on the coop. So an American coop to Washington State might be $800 or $1,000 to ship.
Yeah, it depends on the weight, depends on the size, depends on what's going on with the world, depends on if there's even fuel.
Yeah, the
Congratulations
gas.
by making it here today, so you guys didn't run out of gas.
We
No.
both have hybrids.
Okay.
What?
Okay. See,
Wait,
I was
wait,
waiting
how
for
much?
Nan to chime in.
About $1,000
Yeah.
to the West Coast currently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, Nan, come on in. Come on in. We're gonna say hi to Niner. I'm gonna get the baby chicks
She looks
ready.
amazing anyway.
Yes, come on.
I know.
Come on
We
in.
have guests coming.
Huh?
We have guests coming.
Well, I know. Look at you.
And I was cleaning. I was playing housekeeper.
Come on in.
Look at- yay.
No one
She is such a great hostess.
Okay.
She's
If
the
you ever
best.
wanted to know,
I can't.
here's where
Hi.
Jetta's like- see, here's where Jetta's like, oh, they're sweaty. This
Hi.
is
Yay.
She has the answers of everything.
So yeah.
Oh, clink!
So tell people about shipping.
There's a lot to shipping. It's not just giving it to the UPS man and having him put it on the brown truck or the purple FedEx truck or anything like that. There's a lot behind it. There's a lot of logistics. And Kenzie in the office, who we spoke to earlier about the 3 questions for the week or whatever you guys call it, which is really great. She handles all of that. So she is the knower of all the things, especially about shipping. But I taught her some things, so I know a little. So shipping heavily depends on what style and size coop you get. So it depends on if you get the California coop where it's a flat stack, knockdown pallet, where sometimes it can be stackable, other times it cannot. And other times when you get a American or a Carolina coop, it's stacked up in a teepee on the pallet. So it's just a different, what do you call that? Density. Density. So it has to, there's a lot of dimensions there and weights and everything that we have to take into consideration. So when you call us up and say, hey, listen, how much is it to ship a coop to Seattle? It depends on what size coop you want. It depends on what style coop you want, so I can estimate about how big the pallet is going to be, like dimensionally as well as the weight. And I just ran it, and it's about $1,000 for a smaller Carolina or American to a terminal for pickup in Seattle.
So maybe explain curbside versus terminal for pickup.
Curbside pickup is
So like I could
for
get
a lack of better words, it's not awesome for everybody. Unless you're out in the country, but not too far out in the country. Unless you have a short paved driveway or a forklift on your property or
A pallet jack?
a pallet jack if you have a perfectly flat concrete driveway.
So usually they're gonna, if it's curbside, the truck is gonna leave it at the curb. They're gonna
The
take it.
truck is going to pull over on the side of the road and drop your coop pallet at the curb.
And they can't block the mailbox, right?
They cannot block the mailbox, and they cannot block state or local highways or your road or your driveway.
Yeah.
They can make it very difficult for you to get in and out, especially if you drive larger vehicles like Matt and I do, not necessarily you guys, because you guys drive the nice compact little cars. But they can make it very difficult, and a lot of folks are in the idea that I had lumber for a deck delivered, and I saw my neighbor just moved in, and she had a tractor trailer come in with all of her stuff from her house, and it's not the same. Tractor trailers that move like household goods are rated for a much less weight than tractor trailers that you see hauling building, like a lot
Freight,
of building
yeah.
materials and freight and stuff like that. So freight to residence is not easy. Freight to terminal is usually better. Even if you have to rent a vehicle to go pick it up at the terminal, it's going to be a lot easier, faster, less headaches, and less expensive also. So I'm going to say about $1,000 right now, and that changes daily, depending on the fuel and all of the other worldly happenings that go on daily. So it just changes daily. So it's an estimate from us until your coop is actually done and packed and ready to ship. And then we run it, and it is what it is. And we're pretty good about estimating. But
One thing I would like you to answer that I don't know how we still get this question. Is there anywhere we cannot ship a coop?
no.
Right. We get asked all the time, can you ship to Texas? Can you ship to the Netherlands? Can you ship to Australia?
I have a gentleman who would like to speak to you about a coop in Switzerland.
Perfect. We love
I mean, is
Switzerland.
it maybe gravel roads or one-way roads or anything like that?
Yeah, they can't go down those roads.
Okay.
If
So you
I
can't. So you'd have to get terminal pickup for that kind of situation.
Right.
Okay.
If you live on a gravel road, if you live on a private road, if you live on a one-way road, if you live on a narrow residential street with parking on both sides, or opposite parking every other day, only on Tuesdays in July, those places you can't get a tractor trailer down those roads. Yes, you can get lumber from Lowe's, and you can have a refrigerator delivered, and you can have a household moving company come in. Those are different trucks. Freight of this size is just different. Trust me when I say we give you the absolute best price that we can. Nobody wants to move these coops faster than we do for the least amount of cost. Trust me.
Yep.
That's a promise. On that note, I have to go sell some more chicken coops.
Yes.
Thank you, Nan.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Okay. Good job, Niner.
I'm a little late with
All
that.
right.
I don't.
No worries. All right. So,
One of the little white ones might be better.
So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna practice non-left her glasses here, and non your phone's up on the shelf. Let's practice some candling. I saw a couple of people asking about candling. Is there any questions we should get to before we start this? 'Cause-
No, go to the candle.
all right.
and
So
I'll
we're
figure out
gonna
the
we're gonna
questions.
kill some lights because the candling does not work.
Well, try a little white one before you kill lights.
Okay. So we're gonna bring in this awesome incubator. Oh. Okay. And then let's let's see if we turn it around. Turn it around. So here's our eggs. 99.5 degrees. 52% humidity. Almost perfect, right?
Yeah, can you give Nan her glasses and her phone? How are you gonna sell Coops that way?
All right, let's see. Ah, I don't know if you can see that.
No, we're going to turn. We're going to just see if this works or not. This is an experiment.
This one, okay, I put this one on the candler, and it's simply just a bright light, and you can see the air cell, and it is solid. I don't know if you can
It's
see
developing.
How,
There's-
well,
that. You probably
We're going to kill one
yeah,
more
that's
light.
it's not clear
Oh,
what you're
let's-
seeing.
We're going to get it. We're going to get it. See, we don't want to lose the green screen or it's going to look really goofy. Look at that.
Okay, that might work.
I don't know if you can
And
see
then
that.
here
Let
we
me try
go.
a white one.
Hold on.
Oh, that one too. That one looks pretty good. This one you can see veins and the embryo. I don't know if you can see the air cell. You might be able to see that right there.
Yeah.
That air cell is clear,
Okay.
and then you've got a dark
Dark.
area. You've got a ring and a dark area. And
So-
this one you do have.
Oh yeah, I can
You
see
do have
that.
a black. You have some veins in
Oh,
there.
now you can see that. Yep.
And let me see. I did have a one that was not.
That is a bright candler.
I did have one that was. This one is developed. I did have an unfertilized one in here. This one is too. Let's see.
Oh my gosh. Just let me know what I can do to help you.
Okay. Some of these are the shells. I think the one that you picked up earlier, the shell was just too thick to see through it. That one's fertilized too.
Give it a chance.
Okay,
Give it- there
this
we go.
one is not fertilized.
Oh yeah, and you can see the difference right there. Just
Right. You
there's
can
no
see
shadows.
the you can barely see the yolk in there, and the yolk really just floats around as you move it, and it's just like barely a little spot in there. But there's no veins, no dark spot, no black opaque ribbon through it. So that one,
Yeah.
that one we could crack open right now if we wanted to. But
Now put one
And
of
it's
the
just
other
going to be an egg. Okay.
put one of the other ones on so people could.
Yeah, nice and
I've
slow,
never
nice and
seen
slow.
this
All right.
before. I've never
let's
candled.
see. I don't know if you guys.
It's just focus. It's out of focus. There we go.
So the air sac, you see the air sac.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that in the last show. So
Yeah,
you got
yeah,
some
you can
pretty
see
good
that.
roosters doing some fertilization and
These are marks.
oh, what were some of yours?
Mine are in the middle.
Okay, let's try some of the
But
middle.
those shells are pretty. I don't.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's
Can't
let's
really-
give it a try. All right,
All right.
so we are candling eggs,
I know that you can't see through those.
and I wish I could turn the camera on. I would, or I'd probably screw it up. My daughter just came running as soon as she heard that we're candling eggs. This is how powerful candling.
Yeah, it's just.
No, wait, slow down, slow down. You got,
Yeah.
you got it. Look it. Give it a second.
Yeah, you
Look
can
at the
see
air
that.
sac.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's developed.
And this is only a week.
Right.
I know.
Right.
But that's the important thing. It's very, very dark. Does this bring back memories, Jetta?
Yep.
I remember the twin babies.
All right.
Oh,
and-
here's a green egg. Look it. You can tell it's a green egg because of the green screen.
And it's not. It's not fertilized. We can take that one out.
Oh, son of a gun, you're right. It almost looks like it on camera, but
Well, we
you-
can see the air cell, but there's absolutely nothing else.
Oh,
going on.
I forgot to mention something, and I know this is one of your pet peeves. I tried so hard to clean my fingernails. I've been tearing apart sprinkler systems all week, and they looked awful. Uh-oh. Look at that.
Yeah.
That looks good. So that's what they should look like. This is week 1. Awesome. All right, so they
All right.
are working.
That is a good shot.
And it did work. What do you think, Jetta? We're going to have some baby chicks soon.
2 weeks.
All right, do we have any questions about this from the viewers?
let's see.
Will this help? Because the light at the bottom makes it hard to see on the.
As always, Nan to the rescue with some idea. Let's
Well,
see.
you know, like the flashlight candler that we have
Yeah.
has like a.
Oh!
Oh Jesus!
Yeah. We're good.
Oh my gosh. That
We're
did
good.
not
I
sound
don't know.
good.
We'll work on this. Oh. We'll work on this. Yeah, it's so bright down below here.
Right.
But no, well, this one wasn't.
Another one is. That's fertilizer.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely fertilized. All right. Here, take this before I drop it again.
Can we put some clear nail polish on it and fix
That
it?
one's going to be like Nemo.
I don't see any. I don't. It's not compromised.
It's not compromised.
I think we're
Exactly.
good.
Think we're good? All right.
All
Did we
right.
check the gray one?
I couldn't see through it, but go ahead.
Okay, I love this one.
Wait, can I try?
You want to try? Here, Jetta, come on over here.
So Michelle asked, when do you usually see movement, or do you ever see movement in the?
No,
No.
you never, because by the time they're ready to hatch, they're just so
Compact.
compacted in there. They can't move.
Okay.
I mean, you can sometimes hear them chirping before they hatch.
Oh, I did hear chirping when I
yeah.
came out here.
That's kind of cool.
This one's so dark, we can't really see it. No.
That's not a great idea.
It fell. It fell last time.
That's too big.
Okay. No.
So it's harder to candle like a copper maron egg than
It
is.
is. I
than
usually
like
just
a
have to let
legger.
them go.
All right, why don't you take this one?
Yeah.
Hang on to it.
And for some reason, some of these
That
are
one, get
just,
back in that spot right there.
you would think that you'd be able to see through them, but they're just,
Now, I want to show something off real quick. How's my audio being on the other side of the mic?
It's okay, but you should zoom the camera out if you want to, so we can see everybody.
Okay.
A little bit more. There you go. Okay. Okay. Perfect.
All right. Here's one of the things I love about this incubator. So it has the countdown. Perfect. And it mimics mama hen by turning them. And this will automatically know, correct, when they need to stop being turned.
yep.
Because it has a day where it
has a
counts,
countdown,
It has
yeah.
a countdown. And again, especially for our teachers out there, if you're watching, one of the things I think is the best about this incubator is it's so easy to see everything going on
Right.
inside there.
Sometimes I will just go ahead and do that just to make sure that they're all turning appropriately. They're not hung up anywhere and they're all turning great.
So we have success. So in about, 2 more weeks, we should have baby chicks hatching, right?
That's right.
Right at noon.
We can
Okay.
candle them again next week too.
Yes. Okay. I think that might be too cold. You want to grab that cord for me? Yeah. Just bring this right so it attached to the-
All right, you want a question?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Jeffrey Dale Cruz is asking, my chicks, 1.5 months old, got scared by a hawk in the neighborhood a few weeks back. And what are some tips to make sure hawks don't keep harassing their birds?
Are you legally allowed to answer that?
No, this is a blank stare. Do you recognize it?
Crows, feeding crows are good.
Yes.
Yes, crows.
Crows.
Love crows.
Crows are great. I was going to work on my crow call.
So
have to do
bringing crows in can actually help tremendously to keep hawks away from your property
Having a
because
dog too.
dogs, I think, are the number one answer to solve.
Not for me.
Really? Well, are your dogs outside much?
Well, one of them likes chicken and one of them really likes chicken.
Oh, I just mean like the presence of a dog. Hawks seem to know that there's a dog
Yeah.
in the yard, even if it's not always in the yard.
So we need to do soon. That's grossing me out. We need to do soon. Had this gentleman I met down in Florida who's actually a dog trainer. He took a dog that was insane. The prey drive was through the roof, and I think it was about a couple weeks. He was able to teach that dog to sit and be perfectly okay with the chicken. So yeah, having a dog is a great way to protect them. Crows, and of course guardian geese.
Yeah.
I also have the netting poultry netting over my run area. And also in a different area, I strung cable crisscross because hawks like to swoop, correct?
Right.
So I actually, God, 1 week I'm gonna get away from not talking about I was an exterminator, but I used to love doing that. We would put in wire and we would do this like webbing through parking lots. And a lot of birds, like hawks, in this case seagulls, when they come in by the thousands to these parking lots and make a mess, if they come down, they spread their wings out. If the wire clips their wings, they don't like it, and it deters them from wanting to be in that area. We had a customer right in Raleigh. She did that successfully with fishing wire.
Well, and I would also say that having shrubbery or anything low growing helps a lot because the chickens do use that for cover and they feel more secure in covered areas. So if there is a hawk, it is nice that they have some place to go, maybe under the deck or under some shrubs. It's just,
To run.
it's not foolproof, but it will help.
Absolutely.
I also found, in my case, because I encouraged the crows, that my flock reacts to the crows making a lot of noise because the crows are usually chasing the hawks because the hawks want to eat the crows' eggs and babies.
Yeah.
So when the crows, when they're outside and they're all scattered around and they hear crows making a lot of noise, they run up to the coop.
Ah.
Wow.
Now, how did you attract crows?
Well, I had one a couple years ago that used to just come up and on top of my fence, and and it would make a noise and it would see me. And crows are extremely intelligent. And I started feeding it. I would take some of my mealworms and chicken scratch and I put it out in a little container, and then I'd walk away. And then the crow would eat the stuff and then leave the container 8 feet high on the top of the fence many times. But we had this little relationship that when I went out to see the chickens, I would hear the crow and I would feed the crow. But I also live right across from a park, so we get lots of hawks and lots of crows. So I just encouraged. So now this season, when I saw the crows, I just started putting peanuts out, and they would take like whole peanuts and.
In the show?
Right. And it is important to make sure that they're nesting nearby because that one keeps them there and makes them very territorial. So I'm not sure. That's kind of where I haven't learned any more about how to provide good nesting areas. I'm assuming they nest up in the trees versus you can see a lot of states that make eagles' nests and it's just out in the middle of nowhere on a pole. So.
They don't have many predators.
Ozzy Ox.
Ozzy, yeah, from the Netherlands, or he's somewhere over there.
He said, "I think I might have a broody wife."
How are we doing on time?
We are at 102.
We are 102, so we did our hour-long show as promised.
Right.
Before I forget, because we're going to start wrapping it up soon, I want to, Kristen, I haven't told you about next week's show. I cannot wait for next week's show. But I did want to put a little teaser out there.
I'll get it for you.
Do we remember, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were showing off Fishing Matt Ryan's chicken coop,
Yes.
and we noticed this feeder
Yes.
that you're about to see come up on your screen.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. Yep, screen share.
Okay.
Anyways, because of the show, one of our listeners, I'm not exactly sure who, contacted the designer, the owner of this wonderful feed silo for chickens, this wonderful product. He just so happens to be right here in the state of North Carolina, out of Wilmington. 90% of this product is made right here in North Carolina. He is looking to outsource or to source locally the 2 last parts that he has not been able to find yet here in the States. And he is very excited to give us one to try out, to possibly do cross promotion and all that fun stuff that businesses like to do. But, I had 2 hours, I think, a long conversation with him talking about how particular we are about, people approach us all the time trying to promote their product, sell their product. If we wouldn't use it, I don't promote it, period. And I just loved listening to this guy. He got real techy and nerdy about so many things you would never think exists in a product. And one of the things, there's so many great benefits, and we're going to get into this next week. He's going to bring one here. and we're going to unbox it and we're going to talk about it live, spontaneous, right? And I thought this would be something great for you to take home and report back to us and let us know what you think. But it's definitely a very high quality product. Again, we're going to get into all those details. But one of the things I have always been concerned about having a feeder like this out in the open is rain. And he said that there are parts of this design that make it 99.9% rainproof.
Wow.
Couldn't believe it. So next week, if you guys aren't doing anything, next Friday, and you want to learn more about from Coop Works, this feed silo, we will be selling it on our website. We got some more things for Ingrid to get involved with, to do cross promotions, but we will have the inventor, the designer, and he works with an engineer right out of Cary, North Carolina. And there's a company in Smithfield that actually does the molding. So I couldn't believe it.
That's fantastic.
I thought you'd get excited about that. So
That's Coop Works.
Coop Works, yes. Great guy. Because we know there's some bad apples out there stealing things, sending it to China. They re-engineer it, bring it back here. They undercut us American inventors, the entrepreneurs here, and it just makes me so mad. And he understood that. So we get to see it, try it out.
Fantastic.
I think you might even have to bring some feed so we can dump it in there. I mean, really put it to the test. I even thought about maybe taking the show outside.
Yeah, I saw that picture, how easy it is to dump.
A lot.
Because it's really at waist level or.
Yeah, and it all started because his daughter, who's in one of those pictures, said, "Dad, I need a better feeder." And he just whipped that up. I think it's amazing. Yep.
So, do you want to continue? Or do
Yeah,
you want
let's.
to-
How are we doing on comments? How many viewers do we got? I don't want to bore anyone, but I do want to start
Okay.
wrapping it up. But maybe we could do a rapid fire answer. 45 people, not bad. So they're hanging tight. Can't thank you guys enough.
Suggestions? Yeah.
Oh, I did want to mention that if there's any suggestions for the show, now that we're finally starting to solidify everything here, I didn't have to set up. I turned the button on the mixer, didn't have to touch it. I got Ingrid. I think she's starting to feel a little bit more comfortable. Boy, she was mad at me. I wish
She
I
looks
had
good over there.
She does. I wish I had a camera on her this morning. Oh, she just wanted to slap me.
I did.
Yes.
I still might, but
Yeah.
the day's not over yet.
Yeah, so let's do some, let's fire away with some questions.
There's
So,
not a lot of.
not a lot of questions? We don't
I
have
mean,
a lot.
there's comments, but there's not
All
a lot
right,
of.
fire away the
specific
comments. We didn't do YouTube Chicken Police.
Oh, do you want that?
Yes, let's fire it up.
All right.
YouTube Chicken Police real quick.
Oh my God. Here
Oh,
we
come on.
go.
Here we go. Let's make sure everything's working.
I'm sorry.
Sound effects are low.
Oops.
No,
comments.
up one.
I know it's just very small.
I know. That's why I tried to get you the bigger screen. I love this background.
We can't hear it.
No, because you got to go up one more. Go up one more.
What do you mean?
No, go up. Go up. We're going to get through this together. I promise. Go up to the scenes.
Yeah.
Click the one just above it where it says sirens.
Oh.
So if you are driving right now,
Okay.
it is time for YouTube Chicken Police. We haven't done YouTube Chicken Police, I don't know in how long. So then you can just go down, click in the bot. Now let's bring it down. We got to give people something new to look at.
Okay. How about? I'll tell you what.
Oh, Ingrid's making some executive decisions.
The logo.
I have a lady coming to paint that logo in our front lobby.
Nice.
I've always wanted to say that. We have a front lobby. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. We're going to have a big wing ding doodle. Probably once the shop is fully up and running. I want to invite everyone here.
All right. You want your YouTube Chicken Police that you forced me to do? Okay.
I don't force you to do anything. I just make suggestions.
All right. Concerning the Michigan Coop, which is the big, beautiful coop.
The Coop in Dryden,
Yes.
Michigan. Wonderful chicken coop.
It's very beautiful. It looks like you can have a lot of chickens, but the nest box seems very small.
The actual box?
I see people see the big Craftsman coop, and I guess they think you're supposed to have a gigantic nest. There's a
Not for chickens.
gang
The
nest
chickens
box,
wouldn't
correct?
like that. They want the small, cozy, dark place to drop their eggs so they'll be safe.
That's
just
it.
instinct.
Yeah. So it's not too small. It's our standard nest box. It works out perfect, I think.
And I think when we tell people that 8 chickens can use the same nest box, people don't realize they don't do it all at the same time.
That's a good
A couple
point.
of times
It's
they
like-
will.
yeah, it's like
They'll
having
still
a-
scrunch in there. I've seen one on top of the other.
Yeah.
That's happened. But for the most part, they take turns.
Yeah, it's like having a bathroom in a building. Not everyone's going to use the bathroom at the same time.
Right. So
We don't have a bathroom for
You
every
don't?
employee or every family member.
You're not supposed to be in there at the same time? We can now. We got 4 bathrooms. Urinals. Love it.
Okay.
Bidet.
A bidet. Oh, we talked about the bidet on the last show, didn't we? It's great.
All right, here's another negative one. About the Virginia duck coop. They said, lies, ducks poop wherever they sit. Should have constructed a sand floor in the duck house and done deep litter method. Pressure treated or not, that floor will rot. Plus, I would never put pressure treated where they'll be mucking about with their bills or sleeping on. They're talking about the...
Well, you know, and it's funny because you say it's negative, and it is a negative comment. I see that as 100% positive. I have gone live on the air saying I am not the expert at all. And we go to the experts and we experiment, we try things, and we figure out what works and what doesn't work. And so this is interesting. They're saying to not use pressure-treated lumber in there, which is, I'm okay with that. But when I have some customers, and here's what happens, you know, the old saying, the customer's always right. In the world of chicken coops, that's not always true, but there are times, like the one where it's a whole concrete pad for the entire chicken coop. No matter what I said, you're not going to tell them anything different. So there are times, and I think that was one of those cases. So I agree with it. I am a fan of like what we did with the goose house in Alabama. It was non-pressure treated, 3/4 inch plywood, and we oiled the whole thing with a food safe oil. So now it's a giant wooden salad bowl. Okay. Number 2, they said to use sand.
Construction sand floor.
A construction sand floor.
Yeah, because there's like play sand and construction sand.
Oh, yeah, I understand because construction sand supposedly has a lot more like the silica aerogel in it. It's really bad if you let your kids play in the sand, you're breathing that in. That's gonna be really bad. I don't know. You know, if people out there, if you have good suggestions like this, yeah, we are open to it and we can try it out. We are definitely not the experts yet, but we are working on it, and this is why I can't wait with Shelly. You know, again, I was talking this morning. She's already sending me pictures and videos, and she does have. She said she doesn't think the deep litter system is going to work. This is very fascinating. And also to that point, I was almost going to call a customer. She insists on using the Obby chick. She doesn't like what I thought most people like, the horse bedding, the larger particles. And we had another customer today mad, and I don't blame him. I appreciate how important it is that we brand a certain item, but he got the horse bedding and not the Obby chick, even though it's same company, same material, just a different particle. He was not happy about it. So it's going to be interesting too what type of carbon source we're using.
And you don't want to offer both?
You know, it's coming to the point I almost think I'm going to have to. Or people are focused on the outside of the packaging, not so much the particles.
We had Taylor Brandt on Instagram who did a story of him unboxing his Obby chick, which we appreciate that. Thank you, Taylor.
Oh, can we watch it? Can we bring that up or no? If not, maybe next time.
It's a story, so a story only lasts for 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
So I have it
Those
on
stories. You know you're
I
getting
know.
old when you don't understand social media.
Yeah. So here's a nice comment. Someone on the Predator apron video, they said I was dreading digging my Predator proofing. I'm going to try this. So they were happy that you don't have to bury it.
There is nothing better than how we do the Predator apron.
Yeah.
And that is why I
And
put
it
that.
works.
Yes, it works perfectly. You're going to save time. You're going to save your back. So easy.
Somebody asked on the comments here, any update on the Acre product? Have we decided what we're doing with that?
Not yet. You know, now with everything that's going on with the new building, we got 2 buildings going now. Probably am not going to make a final decision on it until we are back together in one building. And I think it's just going to be something that we're going to slowly introduce.
Oh, this?
Yes, that. I thought that was, I opened that email yesterday and I thought it might be nice to read that, like a Carolina Coops High.
Oh, yes, this is great. All right, this is from Mark Mirko. This note is long overdue, but I wanted to make sure you all understand how grateful my family and our chickens are for your videos. The information provided by the videos, both on the structures and how their design benefits chickens' health and habits, was an invaluable aid as I constructed a coop based on your suggestion over the late fall and winter months. The final footprint of our coop is 8 by 22 with an 8 by 8 hen house 2 feet above and within the footprint. I can't list the number of ways your videos helped as they are too numerous to mention, but it would be a serious lapse of manners if I didn't say thank you for all the help. Our flock has never been happier. Mark Mirko
Mark, thank you.
from YouTube.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
You know, and that's why we do this. And I always tell people,
Thank you, Nan.
if you're not going to buy one of my chicken coops, I want you to learn from us to build your own coop. So Mark, I can't thank you enough for that. That makes me so happy.
Yep, the chickens will be happy, the healthy, you'll be happy. Everyone will be happy.
Yes.
And the only other comment that I had here, which is something in that vein, from Mara on YouTube about the Michigan coop, and she said, "This is stunning, but what I'm most enamored by is the care, respect, and support given for the chickens to breathe, function, be safe, and live and have space. It makes me so happy I see this being promoted, encouraged, and developed." So thank you, Mara, for that.
Yes, thank you.
Because that's really what's at the core of what we do.
Right.
That is, I mean, we should almost steal that and put it up on the wall. I mean, that is it. I mean, I've done this since I was a kid because it just makes sense. It just makes sense. But so many people, what is interesting is you got to learn what makes sense. And that's what we're trying to advocate is, yes, we build chick coops. This is what I want to promote. But I'm explaining why we do what we do. That way, if you're out chick coop shopping, you're going to realize what we do. If you're out trying to buy accessories, you're going to realize why we promote what we promote. That it all starts with the chickens and understanding them. And there's so many companies, especially when you see these coops coming over from China, they make them look good. They tell you, oh yeah, you can put 10 chickens in there. I wouldn't put 2 chickens in there. And I don't want people to get out of this great hobby because they were misled.
Yeah.
Or that they had bad results with their chickens.
Well, they were misled, which ended up giving them bad results. Absolutely. I'm working on trying to keep it shorter.
Okay.
Are we ready to wrap it up?
We're ready to wrap it up.
I think we're ready to wrap it up. It is Friday, end of the week. And I tell you, this is a great way to end of the week.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about trying to do it at different time slots.
I love it.
Yeah, I do too. It gives me something to look forward to. Kristen, thank you so much for being here. I'm glad you had the fuel to get here. Ingrid, thank you for staying out of your comfort zone. You did a fabulous job. I'm sure everyone out there agrees. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Have a great weekend. There's the outro music. Love it.